Primordial Radio.
Primordial Radio Download Festival 2022. Kill the lights. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Good. Getting over the jet lag. I need liquor to warm my blood.
So this is the fun part of your band, right? Is you got everywhere. So, Moose, you're still here in the UK, right?
Me and Jay, South Wales.
Yep.
5 minutes apart, obviously. And then the rest of the guys.
I'm from Michigan. We have Minnesota and Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So for us to get together for even a band practice is an adventure.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Pre-COVID, a lot of people might have looked at that and be like, that's going to fall apart. But we all got put into the situation that you would have had to deal with. And I kind of feel like it's become a bit of a norm. So did COVID actually help you operate as a band? Because you already get used to it in that sense.
Obviously, it put a massive stop to touring.
Of course.
I would say it definitely helped contribute to album 2.
Yeah.
I call our album a COVID baby because it came out during the middle of the pandemic. But we had as much time in the world as we needed to write a record.
So is it a very kind of like, is it very reflective? I certainly had my moments of reflection in COVID on life and all sorts of shit.
I would say James's lyrics are.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think he went into some dark places.
Inwards, yeah.
Happy, very happy man. When you meet him, he's just like, he's just party. You read his lyrics like, is this the same guy?
He'll send us a new song, and I want to call him like, dude, are you okay?
Yeah. Now, obviously, Kill the Lights, new band, but this ain't your first rodeo for anyone in the band. But how does it feel to be doing a new band, from the wealth of experience that you do have as a band, to be doing something new together?
Refreshing.
Yeah.
We all did it full time with a lot of different experiences.
Yeah.
And this time around, I keep saying it's all about the spirit and the fun of it.
Yep.
I'm not here for money, fame, recognition. I could give two shits about that. It's literally for the fun of it, to be on stage, to connect with people.
And did you get burnt out in like in your previous experiences? I guess because money, fame, politics, all of these things can just chip away at you, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love my previous bandmates, but it was too much, especially at that young age.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I was like worrying about money and what I was going to do with my life. I got a job, and all I wanted to do was go back to this.
So when you weren't doing the band, was that, it must have just been there, was it like the itch you had to scratch? Was it ever a thought that you wouldn't come back to doing this and go off and do something else in life?
When I left the other band, I thought I've worked way too hard just to not do it again. So I was drinking a couple of bottles of wine. I text Joe and I'm like, come on, give me some riffs. Sends me 30 songs. I'm like, fuck! Okay, let's do it. And then it just went from there. It was weird to have someone send me so many songs in such a small space of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what basically ended up on The Sinner. And then,
Yeah, so even though I wasn't in a band or touring, my favorite part about being in a band is to write music.
Yeah.
To create the music itself. So that was my stress reliever at home. I had so many songs written, and I had a file on my computer called Music No One Hears, because it was just for me. And finally when he texted me, I was like, yeah, right, I'll send him to someone.
All right. This is all right. On the music itself, was there like straight away agreement in terms about how you wanted it to sound, kind of bands that maybe you're thinking in terms of an influence, or there was a little jostling, little arguing to get to that point?
No,
that is a big hair on that mic.
It's a massive theory microphone. No, I wanted my drums to sound like me. I wanted Jordan's guitar playing to sound like Jordan. Travis to sound like Travis. We didn't go, hey, let's make this sound like Motorhead or something, It just happened to, it was just be yourself, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And obviously, both of you have been part, like, so much of this and been a real big part, I think, of the story of metalcore. And I when it comes to, like, the genre of metalcore now, I actually can't believe, like, the longevity of the genre. Like, if you had said to me back in 2002 that new bands are going to be popping out huge chords like with a similar sound and still getting massive, I would have gone, no way. But metalcore seems to have had this amazing longevity that has stuck, and people still continue to love it.
I think it's because it's powerful. It's got obviously the riffs, the intensity of metal. There's these massive hooky Iron Maiden choruses, and that's what I think everyone loves. You can't get away from a good song, can you? You know?
Did you watch Maiden last night?
We were rehearsing. We wanted to. The goal was to get down here for Maiden and Megadeth, but alas, we missed it.
It was lovely to see Dave Mustaine on stage, actually, just because obviously everything he went through with throat cancer and everything like that sounded good, and you just kind of, I think again, we talk about the COVID stuff, it's like just appreciation moments, like so many great appreciation moments. Was like we spent 2 years in, go, that's great, like that's really nice to see. Like, do you get moments like that now as a band? Was like, oh, even the fact that we're able to do this, like, this is amazing, like, and not taking things for granted again.
All the time. Like even earlier, walking around the festival, some lovely gentleman came up to me and like said, "Hey, Jordan, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Do I know you?" And I always forget, like, people actually still remember the old songs, or even know who our band is. We're just a bunch of nerds who write music and are appreciative to have fans.
Yeah.
My wife tells me off because I do stupid stuff, and she's like, you know, people do realize, people know who you are. I'm like, nah, no one knows who the fuck I am. But it's weird, they do, And I find it weird still.
Yeah. So The Sinner is out now. It came out earlier this year. You mentioned that there's the COVID Baby album. But what's next then for Kill the Lights?
I believe the next release is early 2023.
I just finished drum track in album 2 3 weeks ago. So the guys are going to do their part now. And we're not going to rush. We're not going to push. We're going to get it right. And then start fresh in 2022. 23. But I think there will be stuff happening at the end of the year.
Yeah. Any more shows lined up for the rest of this year?
I think we're focusing on the record, finishing it.
Right.
Chris Clancy, Colin Richardson, and some help from Andy Sneap.
Man, you got Colin and Andy, like the pair of them.
We
like,
tracked it
fucking hell, guys.
We did it in Andy's studio, and we didn't know what to expect, but he was helping out. It was nice to see that legend.
It's amazing you mentioned Andy Sneap, because I just earlier had a great chat with a band called Orbit Culture. I'm not sure if you're aware of those guys yet. Absolutely incredible band. Well, they self-produce. We're talking about production. They're saying, I love, like, when it comes to production, I love it when I can listen to a record and identify the producer. They have certain sounds, and I think of the Andy Sneaps of the world. They just have like this certain production. You hear it, you go like, that's so good.
Yeah.
And he's in Judas Priest.
Of course. Like Andy's a Judas Priest now. Yeah. Shout out Andy Sneap, man. That guy's a legend. We gotta get him on there.
We were just jamming, and every day he was just jamming Priest because he was getting ready to go on tour. I'm a massive Priest fan.
Yeah,
so I was just
yes. Well, I think it's like, so is he, right? 'Cause it's like, we're kind of geeking out about it, but I'd imagine for him, that's also his kind of boyhood, like, dream come true for him to be in Judas Priest, I'd imagine. So it's nice to see good shit happen to good people, ultimately. Well, guys, it has been such a pleasure to have a chat, and thank you so much. And looking forward to that COVID Baby album, dude.
Yeah. We should call album 3 Music No One Listens To.
Music no one listens to 2024.
Boom.
There you go. Cheers, guys.
Primordial Radio.